My ex-fiancé cheated on me 3 months before our wedding. Less than a year later, my own sister got engaged to him. And when I finally pushed her on the timeline, she cracked, because it didn't start after we broke up. It started while we were still together. I'll call him Derek. We were together 5 years, engaged for 2, and the wedding was basically done, venue booked, dress altered, everything. Then 3 months out, I found messages on his phone. He'd been seeing someone else for a while. I called off the wedding that same week. Derek moved out of state not long after, and I told myself that chapter was closed. I spent the next year rebuilding, new apartment, new routine, slowly letting myself feel okay again. My younger sister, I'll call her Paige, and I had always been close. 2 years apart, same friend group growing up, the kind of sisters who actually liked each other. So when she called out of nowhere asking me to come by our parents' place for big news, I didn't think twice. I got there and everyone was already glowing, my parents, my sister, practically vibrating with excitement. Paige held out her hand and told me she was engaged. To Derek. My ex-fiancé. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I might actually pass out. She told me they'd been together secretly for about a year, and swore up and down it only started after Derek and I split. My parents backed her up instantly, said they'd known for months but kept it from me to protect my feelings, like that made it better instead of so much worse. Looking back, there'd been little things I'd brushed off without thinking twice, Derek suddenly busy on nights he used to be free, Paige growing distant right around the time our wedding planning ramped up. I hadn't wanted to see it. So a few weeks later, I finally asked Paige straight out, when did this actually start? She danced around it for a while. Then she admitted it. She and Derek had gotten close while he and I were still together, months before the wedding was even called off. And somehow, she turned it around on me, said I'd been too busy with wedding planning and basically pushed him toward her. I told them all I wanted nothing to do with the wedding, and I walked out. That's when the calls started to Paige and my parents, back to back, saying I was being selfish, that I was overreacting, that real love doesn't wait for perfect timing. My dad even brought up who was paying for my grad school next year, like showing up to this wedding was suddenly part of the deal. Some of my friends told me to just go, smile, and prove I was over it. Others said I had every right to stay home and never look back. Then Paige asked me to be her maid of honor. Said it would help us heal. That's the part that really got me, being asked to stand up front and support the 2 people who'd hidden all of this from me for an entire year. When she posted this looking for outside opinions, the responses were almost entirely on her side. One of the top comments laid the timeline out plainly, her fiancé cheated on her, broke her heart, and now that same person is marrying her sister, with her whole family covering for both of them the entire time. Their advice was blunt, go low contact, and let how everyone behaves from here decide how much further to pull back. And honestly, that tracks, you don't owe closeness to people who chose comfort over honesty. Another commenter said they couldn't imagine ever being with someone who broke their own sibling's heart like that, full stop, no exceptions, that her sister failed a pretty basic test here. That one stuck with me, because it really is that simple, and somehow she still didn't clear it. And then there was the one slightly unhinged suggestion a lot of people were clearly rooting for, agree to be maid of honor, take the mic at the reception, and calmly lay out the real timeline in front of everyone. Scorched earth, sure. But you could feel how many people wanted her to do it anyway. Honestly, the cheating almost isn't even the part that gets me. Most people are awful to each other, that's not new. It's that her own parents knew for months and chose silence over telling her the truth, like protecting her feelings mattered more than protecting her from walking into all of this blind. So I'll leave you with it the way she left it with Reddit. Would you go to that wedding? Is she wrong for even considering skipping it? Drop your verdict below.